All right, I'm going to be going over one of my favorite subreddits. It's the Escaping Prison Planet, and I'm going to be looking at what the posters are saying on this Reddit. There's always something good to be found here. So let's see. First one here with a lot of upvotes. Dave Chappelle talking about how Hollywood handlers trying to convince him he's crazy, wanting to medicate and isolate him before he fled to Africa. Yeah, I'm going into this cold. I don't know what I'm gonna experience, what I'm gonna find here, but I've seen this interview before, and what's telling is Dave Chappelle sounds a lot like Kanye West in this interview, where he talks about how his handlers were telling people that he was going crazy, but really he was just being overwhelmed by Hollywood. He even says that they tried to drug him, which Kanye West in one of his recent Instagram posts talked about how his physical trainer threatened to drug Kanye West if he didn't stop saying the things that he's been saying publicly. So I'm seeing a lot of parallels here. And I think that is why Dave Chappelle has recently defended Kanye on SNL, which is basically the belly of the beast when it comes to the establishment Democrats. And man, Chappelle said some things like, I don't think Kanye West is crazy. Maybe he's a little unwell, but it's not crazy to connect the dots and see that there's a lot of J's that run Hollywood. It didn't come off like anti-Semitic or anything. It was just like kind of funny. But he was definitely defending Kanye West because Chappelle dealt with the same thing. And he talks about here, he said in this interview exactly, I am somewhat of a conspiracy theorist. I connect dots. And when they tried to put me in a dress randomly, I said no, and they kept pushing it on me. And he's like, why are all these black men in Hollywood being forced to wear a dress in TV shows and movies? And he was implying like there's some sort of like emasculating campaign happening in Hollywood. And back then, that sounded like a conspiracy theory. But nowadays, we turn on Netflix, and that's as apparent as like the walls I see in front of me. Is that, like there's a feminization of men going on for sure. Like, definitely. And I think maybe they started with black men because in general in the United States, I think generally black people are more masculine. Black men are more masculine than white men are. So maybe that's why they first went after like the black people and had them wear dresses and stuff. Whatever, I'm just speculating, who knows, but it's definitely right in our face in our reality right now. Like there's a show on Netflix called like He's Expecting, where men are getting pregnant. It's ridiculous. So anyway, let's see this next post. Reptilian drawing by African shaman Credo Mutwa. Yeah, Credo Mutwa, he was friends with David Icke, and if my memory serves me, Credo was, like, murdered. Like, he died a really unexpected, like, terrible death. The guy's dead now. But he was a really likable shaman that talked about seeing reptilian-like beings in the astral realm. And it really is a pattern, guys, of different shamans seeing the same evil-looking figures in the astral realm. It's really weird. That's why it's like I view spirituality as more of a science than a religion, because you can use the scientific method to make your hypothesis, and then you combine all the data that you find from other people that explore the astral realm, and it all lines up. Like all these shamans seem to see the same thing when they go into the other realm. Let's see, what does this post say? Humans are tricked to suck up their suffering in this loophole. Whoa. First of all, let us focus on how resilient most bodies are designed in order to stand the suffering. If suffering is loose, then you cannot build genomes who will die at the first illness that comes around. Modern medicine is also contributing to prolong the suffering. From the moment we come to this planet, most of us are born into one of the Abrahamic religions that support the story of Adam and Eve. So basically, we all fell from heaven and must suffer because Eve ate an effing apple. The Vedas go much deeper with the most elaborate descriptions of karma and reincarnation. Same stupid story as the Abrahamic religions with a twist. We got envious of God and we are thrown out because there is room for only one number one. Basically, we are told to worship the ruthless parent that chased us out and punishes us so badly. At least the Abrahamic religions don't promote reincarnation, so the faithful think that after they die, it is a ticket straight to heaven. So yeah, I mean, the Gnostics would describe our realm as like we were created by basically the demiurge in the Garden of Eden. So there is another God outside of our creator God in the pleroma, as the Gnostics would say, the good God. And that's our essence, our light. That's where we originally come from. And it's like you can't just look at the Matrix as planet Earth. Like the Matrix is like the Garden of Eden where we come from. It's the entire holographic universe. And then outside of the whole universe, which is Venus, Saturn, Pluto, all that good stuff. Outside of that is the pleroma and the good God where we come from. And I think that's kind of what he's alluding to here. What is it? I'm reading the second paragraph, and this just came out to me. Some internal sense of connection to the schizo God who is both loving and a tyrant. There are billions of believers on the planet who are totally fine with their suffering because God is in control. Whenever some crap happened, my ex-friends would say it is your karma. Yeah. So there's kind of a rift between the New Age community that we think of it now and people that are delving into more Gnostic topics, where the New Age community says, like, yeah, we have karma here that we have to deal with and atone for after death. And then people with a more Gnostic perspective are like, no, that karma is like some heavy burden that they throw at us to make us feel guilty enough to reincarnate here again so they can repeat the cycling and the harvesting of our energy. Because, you know, for a long time I've been in the traditional love and light New Age community, and I still believe in love and light, but my perspective is slightly shifting towards a more Gnostic perspective where it is all a big grand illusion in a way. So yeah, this is a very long post. I don't need to go all the way into it. Let's see what else we can find. Some trippy art there. Whoa, man. Okay. Oh, this is a post from the Forever Conscious Research Channel, and I listened to this video today, and I thought it was really good. I mean, this guy is the GOAT when it comes to like the reincarnation, soul trap, and all that good information. So definitely check out his channel. Let's see, an Elon Musk Twitter post. Elon Musk is currently building a giant afterlife AGI that will simulate your soul for all eternity. He bought Twitter because he will reconstruct your essence from how you behaved here. Elon Musk replies to this joke Twitter comment, maybe we're already in it. Yeah, I gotta hand it to Musk. I mean, he's really helped to bring like simulation theory to the forefront. Like nowadays, you honestly don't get judged for saying, I feel like I live in a simulation. That's pretty like, honestly, mainstream thinking these days. Because even like the materialistic atheists can like lob onto that. Because they're like, yeah, I could see that being a possibility. And, you know, at least you're not like one of those religious kooks. And then at the same time, with the spiritual community can lob onto it because they like resonate with that information too. And Elon Musk was, I mean, the first person in the mainstream to really talk about this. So he's really helped in that regard. But at the same time, I'm not sure if I totally trust Elon Musk. I mean, he seems like a transhumanist, and I'm not sure if I'm on board with that, even though I will concede that some aspects of transhumanism are helpful for humanity. Like if you're an amputee, you have a bionic leg, and you have some like Neuralink thing in your brain that connects you in your brain to the leg, and you're able to move it. That's awesome. Like, that's a wonderful, beautiful thing that helps humanity. But, you know, if we connect with AI, we're going to lose a part of our soul. And it'll be easier for, I think, the negative aspects of this world to control us. I mean, that's just so obvious. So, I don't know. Plus space, the whole space narrative, for those of you that are understanding what I'm putting down right now, it's kind of sus. So, and he runs SpaceX. So, You can't trust Elon Musk. You cannot have any idols in this world. They're just going to let you down. That's what I've learned. Whoa. All right, what is this post? Are we literally Trumans inside a movie? I know how this could sound so out there or even crazy. Okay, you're on the Escaping Prison Planet subreddit. It's no holds bar here. Like, all bets are off. Okay. But what if Truman in Truman Show inside a movie on a screen is actually a conscious and aware being? He liberated himself from that fake world, right? And entered the real world. But he still doesn't know he is in a movie that can be purchased in another world from Netflix to watch. So Truman is alive and living in what he thinks is the real world right now. Yeah, that kind of goes with what I was saying, was like, the Matrix isn't just our Earth. It's the entire universe. Right? That makes sense to me. Where are new souls coming from? Yeah, here's a chart here. A lot of younger souls right now means a lot of ripe loosh for harvesting. Yeah, I mean, look at this population growth. It is crazy. One thing I will say is Generation Alpha is the generation after Gen Z, and it is extremely small. Like, these classrooms for Gen Alpha are going to be tiny. I mean, compared to even Gen Z and millennials, people are not having babies anymore. And if you read like the Cathars, if you look up them, they were like a Gnostic sect that lived in southern France back between the 1100s to the 1300s. They believe that it wasn't the right move to have children because that brings more human beings into this cycle of suffering, basically. So yeah, maybe that's partly why they died out, besides the whole Inquisition against them. Actually, the Pope totally exterminated the Cathars. But I mean, they weren't really having children either, so they were bound to just die off anyway, really. Let's see. This post, I'm pretty sure I met the Demiurge several times. He actually looks exactly like the painting where Saturn is eating his baby. So a white guy with white hair, not Goya. Did Goya make that? It seemed like a Caravaggio painting because of the shadows. I'm not really sure. But you know what I'm talking about, the white guy with the white hair eating the baby. Though I've seen a spirit that looks like that. He is struggling through, though, and is scared because he knows his time is up soon. Is the Demiurge scared right now? I don't think so. There is a lot that will be revealed soon. I can't say hardly anything at this point, but time is not what you think. It's a wheel that goes round and round until it doesn't. The ones who failed and are doomed have decided to loop and make themselves kings of this realm. Think of it like they're in a computer and hijacked it instead of possibly leaving. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Instead of possibly, we were never supposed to stay here. I mean, have you guys ever seen a vortex in nature? It's like when a stream, a creek is moving, and a leaf just gets trapped in this vortex. It keeps spinning around and around and around, and that's like our reincarnations again and again happening. But eventually that leaf does exit that vortex, and it keeps on moving on. And I feel like maybe that's what we're going through right now, and we're about to break out of there. So maybe, I don't think the Demiurge is going anywhere, but I think a lot of us, we're going somewhere. We're leaving this realm. We're going on to the next better thing. But I think that this Matrix is always going to be here. So, yeah. Archangel Michael was a lie, false white light. Yeah, I think I'm getting to a point where I'm like, anything outside of ourselves is potentially just false. Not even potentially, that's what I truly believe. Like, when we die and we see this possibly deceptive light, guys, you can't trust anything. Seriously, it's like as above, so below. We deal with so much deception on this material realm. What makes you think it's going to be any different once we go to the other side? So, yeah. Howdy Mikowski. Oh, cool. My newest obsession. He should be. Awesome. He's actually going to be on my channel. I'll be interviewing him November 22nd. Let's see. Bringing it to the next level with fresh ideas and potential solutions. I'm waiting for his latest book, which should have come out already, but I can't find it anywhere yet. Yeah, Howdy was nice enough to send me his new book in a PDF. And yeah, I've almost completed it. It is so good. It's called Exiting Plato's Cave, Avoiding the Reincarnation Soul Trap. It's such an amazing book. So please watch my channel November 22nd. We'll be doing a live stream, and I'll be asking him some questions about his book. So that was crazy. He reached out to me randomly. He's someone that I've been listening to for a long time. Like I put him on in the background when I would have guests over while playing chess. I just feel like he's a very like calming and just really interesting person to listen to. And then out of nowhere, he emailed me saying he liked a couple of my videos. And he's like, hey, we can have like a live stream interview if you want. I'm like, yes, please. And he was like going through like all these details, like describing who he was. And I'm like, howdy, there's no need to introduce yourself. I know who you are. That was really cool. Let's see. Another post here. Has anyone been dreaming about aliens attacking humanity? Oh my God. I don't know. I cool. That's cool. That is a cool thing to say. I don't mean to dismiss you, but okay. Smoked salvia and saw a horrifying and embarrassing vision of myself on a wheel, but didn't know what to think of it until having discovered this subreddit. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people in this subreddit, it's like they've seen things in their life that they can't explain through the realm of materialism. There's no answers when it comes to like the basic route of science. So they've expanded their mind and they're like, we're all gathering together here trying to put the pieces together. Like so many people here have seen shadow beings at night. So many people here have had like these entities talk to them at night. And we just can't, like, it's not just like we're crazy. It's like, it's legit. It's real. It's like stuff we suffered from even in our childhoods. I mean, this stuff is interesting. Let's see. Another post here. NPCs being depicted all throughout the Nag Hammadi scriptures. Yeah, the Nag Hammadi is like the quintessential Gnostic text. Let's see what it says. The Son reveals the Word of the Father. The Son appeared, informing them of the Father, the illimitable one. He inspired them with that which is in the mind while doing his will. Many received the light and turned toward him, but material people were alien to him and did not discern his appearance nor recognize him. Yeah, when you look at like what the Cathars struggled with when they were wiped out by the Pope of their time in an Inquisition, it was like the Cathars were just like truthers of their time, and they were killed by the NPCs who were like, you must obey the church, we will exterminate you. And it's just really sad, honestly, to learn about all these different Gnostic sects that were just slaughtered by the Catholic Church just for having the audacity to like question them. And it's like I'm not even hating on Christianity. Like, I love aspects of Christianity, and it's better than being an atheist for sure. But it's like there's always been throughout history the masses and then the people that are just a little bit different. And those people have always been just persecuted. Let's see. Reincarnation Soul Trap. Exit the cave. Exit the Archonic Soul Trap. Huh. Is this... Sounds like Howdy's book. What is this? Oh, this takes us to some interesting looking website. Whoa. Oh, yeah, there's Howdy. Yeah, that's who I'll be having on my channel soon. This is cool. I got to check this out sometime. I'll check this out later, but let's just keep going through the subreddit here. Imagine having a terrible life on Earth, dying, then 30 seconds later getting tricked by the light and being... Oh, my God, I know. Being reincarnated again for another, like, 80 years. Yeah, you know, there's been a lot of, you know, past life regressionists who have hypnotized people and, you know, they go through their past lives. And a lot of these people claim to have been Cathars. And the Cathars were the people who I said were from like the 1100s to the 1300s. who understood that there is a reincarnation soul trap. And they were doing their best in this life to avoid it, yet it seems like they still were coming back here again and again. That leaves me to think it's not as easy as we might assume to escape this soul trap if it is real. I mean, if these Cathars are coming back here again in this modern time, guys, it's some serious work. It's like, I don't understand anyone who wants to like commit sewer slide, because it's like you need as much time as you need in this material realm to prepare for the next life, because it's going to be a doozy. Like, there's going to be a lot of deception happening. I really feel that way, and you got to be ready for it. Take this time to prepare. And I feel like everything in this realm is sort of like a paradox, and if you like spend a lot of your time preparing for death, you're going to have a more abundant life. That's just the way it works here. It's so strange and weird, but it's just true. Like, that's what I felt lately by like really delving into these subjects. It's made me appreciate the limited amount of time that I have here, and it's made me overall more happy, even though these subjects do sound a little depressing to people that aren't really used to them. But I found the exact opposite. It's given me a lot of meaning. It's been interesting. Excuse me. What is this post? Matrix inside of a Matrix. Oculus founder claims to make VR headset that will actually kill you if you die in a game. This is in Forbes. What? This is not real. Yo, how is this legal? Could never hit the market. Yeah, this is just stupid. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh no, I exited. Let's go back into it. Hold on. Sorry, guys. One sec. Shedding all the programming and Archon's infection since birth is key to liberating our true essence. Thankfully, I have always had an inner guide, be it a higher self or some benevolent being, since I was a kid. I have also had a very horrible forces within me since I was a kid. That nasty force made me suffer a whole life via torturing my psyche. Yeah, I mean, this kind of goes back to what I said before. A lot of people in the subreddit, we've just encountered things that we can't explain, and it's really nice to just talk to other people that have gone through the same thing. You don't feel as alone. What is this? Kanye admits they sacrificed his mother. That is a heavy claim, Kanye.
But that's how they try to categorize.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq has been annoying lately. Sorry, go on.
Control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James.
Oh my God, I live in Cleveland. Don't even get me started on LeBron James. He has a reputation around these parts for being really rude to wait staff too. And he's been just, every opinion he spouts out on Twitter is annoying too. Although that was awesome that he won the 2016 championship for Cleveland. We all love that. I was downtown when it happened, and there was like, the vibe. Okay, we all talk about like, you know, energy here and loosh harvesting and shit. I'm going to tell you right now, the positive vibe. I was in downtown Cleveland when LeBron James won us a championship. It was like euphoric. The good energy from that was like, oh my God, it was insane. So I do love LeBron in a sense.
They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. It's up.
Not you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone. Let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Michael Jordan.
Kanye, you can't just like brush past that. Like, oh, my mom was sacrificed. Anyway, like, what do you mean? Oh my God. Come on, Kanye.
What about him?
Like Dave Chappelle said, he's like, I don't think Kanye West is crazy, but maybe he's unwell. Like, maybe he is unwell.
Dad, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You're out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing.
Yep.
Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me. You understand?
All right. God loves you, Kanye. I agree. I think God loves Kanye. Whatever. I think Kanye West is an important voice in these times because, I mean, as Dave Chappelle said, like, he's not wrong, but that's crazy of him to, like, say the things he's been saying in these modern times. Like, he is pretty brave. You got to hand it to him. All right, what is this meme? Just thought it fits here. People holding on to man trying to commit suicide. No one should escape. We are all in this shitty earth together. Yeah, again, suicide is so stupid. Like, you need your time to prepare here, guys. You really do. It's cowardly to do that. All right, another, like, Forever Conscious Research Channel video. That guy, like I said, he's the GOAT of this topic. He's really good. He studies a lot of, like, near-death experiences, and he puts all the data together in a coherent way. He is amazing. What is this? I remember the Stargate seminar. What is that? Long story short, we are balls of light. The higher light beings had bigger light, and they knew our roles in life before entering the Stargate to get here. What? What is this info? Some light beings get to choose their life, and some don't. I already know I could choose my life before coming here, but the higher light being said I couldn't choose this time. I don't know what he's saying. I've seen orbs before. Like, I've seen a few things at least that really made me believe in, like, the spiritual realm. Like, you know, I was an atheist for a long time. I only believed in materialism, like, obviously, because I mean that's just what we see around ourselves day to day. Like, I had to have these insane experiences in order to get to where I am now. I remember one night I couldn't sleep, and my laptop suddenly turned on, and it started playing this YouTube video that I had paused about alchemy. And I'm like, why is at 3 a.m. my laptop playing this video on alchemy that I paused, and my laptop was off, like it was closed, and it started playing it. And I'm like, I can't even sleep after this. And I got up and I went out into my backyard, and I just saw these orbs of light dancing around. It was such a trippy, weird experience. But yeah, I'm sure that a lot of people on this subreddit have had things that have happened to them that they, again, can't explain. And that's what all binds us together here. We got to figure this out. All right, what is this? Hi, has anyone in this sub fought the Demiurge yet? What? I want to know what he's like and if anyone's got gnosis on how to fight an Archon. Oh my God. So, like, Carlos Castaneda, in his books, he talks like, he says, you know, he's a writer from the 1960s who tutored under a shaman named Don Juan. He said, like, you don't directly fight the Archons. It's like the point is to make yourself unpalatable to the energy that you elicit. Like, a helpful thought exercise would be like, if you're going through a negative experience, be like, all right, my energy is sour to the Archons, to the predators, to the parasites that feed off of our Lush. Make it sour. Like, eat it. Like, you're not going to like this if you eat it. It's going to be gross and disgusting. Like, you don't directly go after them. It's all just a very internal battle. What does he say? Should I even read this? What does he say? For those new to hearing the word demiurge, it's the Greek word for craftsman. I honestly didn't know that. That's kind of interesting. Yaldabaoth is an evil deity and creator of the material world and various Gnostic sects and movements, sometimes represented as, okay, we know this, lion-headed serpent. He is regarded as a demiurge and false god. Yep. I know that. It's all basic info. Let's see. Oh, what's something interesting here? Oh, today we have the technology to hack human beings on a massive scale. Noah Harari. Good old Noah Harari. World Economic Forum member here. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of itself. A Harari quote there. Yep. More than 100 years ago, Rudolf Steiner wrote the following. In the future, we will eliminate the soul with medicine under the pretext of a healthy point of view. There will be a V by which the human body will be treated as soon as possible directly at birth, so that the human being cannot develop the thought of the existence of soul and spirit. He would be extremely smart, but he would not develop a conscience. And that is the true goal of some materialistic circles. Wow. Wow, was Steiner ahead of his time? This guy was around in the 1930s or something? Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay, I'm going to continue. With such a V, you can easily make the etheric body loose in the physical body. Once the etheric body is detached, the relationship between the universe and the etheric body would become extremely, extremely unstable, and man would become an automaton. So yeah, when you look at this recent quote-unquote V, it's not really a conventional V that we had in 2020, it was an mRNA variant, which literally alters the God-given DNA that we were born with. So that makes us, by definition, less human. That is for sure. So for Steiner to say something like this that really fits with the modern era, it's pretty amazing. So what does this poster also say? This is the goal of transhumanism, to merge humanity with the archonic artificial intelligence. Basically, the contents of the fake V create a frequency connection between the human mind and the distorted consciousness that manifests on the 3D level. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, I think it might. I mean, this V was mass-produced in 7 months, guys. For any of you who are critical thinkers, I mean, come on. You had to see this coming, that it was going to be ineffective. Think of it like a thought experiment. Like, imagine it's the year 2050, and everyone is moving into space, and there's space colonies. And then suddenly scientists discover that there's this illness called space sickness, and you need to take this pill in order to stop the space sickness. And anyone who's a critical thinker, they're like, you know what, I don't personally suffer from this space sickness when I go out into space. I don't know if I really need this thing. Not to mention that, but they developed it in 7 months. Something like this would take probably years to produce. I don't think that I personally need it. And it's very suspicious that they're making it mandatory for everyone to take this pill to stop the space sickness. It's like you got to develop this inner knowing in order to keep yourself safe, because we don't live in a safe world. We live in a world that's very corrupt. And it's like all the people will make the excuse like, oh, well, the doctors, they told me that it's safe to take this. But it's like, you understand that the doctors got to where they are by being good students, by just listening to what the teacher said and passing the tests. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're really critical thinkers. They probably aren't going to hold the pharmaceutical companies accountable because they're good-hearted, hard-working individuals that assume the best out of society. This isn't even a crack at their intelligence. I mean, it kind of is. I mean, you should have your own autonomy to understand that what you should be able to detect deception. But at the same time, these doctors, they don't know any better. A lot of people in this world with all these accolades, they got there by jumping through hoops, by being good students, by knowing that they should take the easier classes in college in order to bump up their GPA instead of taking the hard ones, because the hard ones might, lower their GPA a little bit. It's like they were just good at listening to the system. That doesn't make them intelligent. That doesn't make them critical thinkers. Hopefully that made sense there. Okay, another post. What is the most money you can make without selling your soul? Oh my, a lot of people, they feel like, making money is evil. It's not. You got to let go of that. I feel like that's something that this system really tries to push on people, that having a lot of money makes you bad. It really doesn't. It can buy you freedom. Like, it's fine if you make money. Let's see. How to leave this world. Just don't focus on it. It's not going to buy you happiness, but it can buy you freedom. Okay, how to leave this world without death. Everyone here is talking blah, blah, blah. Astral projection, my guy. That's how you do it. Next post is about AP, astral projection. To those who AP often, have you ever been able to explore or visualize realms that are located outside the Matrix? According to Gnostics, that would be the Pleroma. Last year, someone says, in a very altered state, was able to leave the Matrix for a few seconds, and it was the scariest thing I ever experienced. I've been deeply meditating on everything being an illusion, and for a brief moment, I went to a complete nothingness. There was no air, no space, no sound. There was nothing. Yeah, what if that's what awaits us outside the Matrix? We spent all this time like escaping the reincarnation soul trap just to like return to like a nothingness. That's pretty dark, and I don't really believe in that, but it's a thought that I've had. Like, what on earth is beyond this holographic universe? I can't even begin to imagine. It's crazy. Let's see. Do you think archons will reveal themselves in the future with the fast evolution of tech? What if on top of trying to trap us here without death, the transhuman agenda is to get us used to things like cyborgs, so instead of these archons taking over flesh suits, they just manifest as full? I mean, we look at the lore of like Quetzalcoatl from the Aztecs, where they talk about these beings that seemed like not so human. Or, you know, like the Anunnaki from Nibiru. Yeah, there's a lot of historic literature about things, about deities that sound like archons, like interacting with humanity. So yeah, maybe like going down the transhumanist agenda rabbit hole will like manifest that again in our modern world. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. An experiment on the power of the thought. I suggest checking out how strong the power of the thought is, or more precisely, in large groups. I think it might be possible to gather a big group of people and focus their thoughts on one thing, like moving a red brick. Maybe. I mean, the material realm is just very dense. Like, it's very hard.
Which is a big deal.
Whoa, what is this?
For me.
Do anything?
I want to touch it. Oh,
Hey, come back. Come on back here.
I'm gonna get you.
I want to get you.
I'm gonna get you.
Swim with
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna be
An anglerfish. See, that's a really good analogy to, like, the light at the tunnel of light deception that people see after death. Like, it really could be a trap, you guys. And there's a lot of truths in, I believe, Disney and Pixar movies that demonstrate this, like the Pixar movie Soul. Yeah, the light doesn't necessarily mean a good thing. It could be metaphorically the anglerfish that devours you again. I think this is a great analogy. Yeah, I'm glad he posted that here. I'll give it an update. Let's see. That looks like a good video. Carlos Castaneda. Blah, blah, blah. I'm looking for something good. Bear with me here. This is a meme. When they're all voting for their favorite handler, but you just want out of the zoo. Yeah. Maybe some of you have seen, like, the Mouse Utopia science experiment from the 1960s, where scientists were studying, like, large amounts of mice together, and they got rid of all of, you know, Darwinian evolution. They got rid of all of natural selection, and they just lived in this big, basically, mouse city together. And what they discovered was the male mice started acting feminine, and the female mice started acting like masculine, to the point where they no longer wanted to have sex with each other. and their population grew to that point when like they flipped genders, and then it just like rapidly declined. And it's like, that's what I feel like we're living in. We're all living in like this zoo where it's not natural, because like in this rat utopia experiment, like these mutant genetics suddenly came to the forefront that normally would have been wiped out in nature. And it just created this scenario with a mass die-off and these mice that went basically like insane. And it's like our society is reaching that tipping point, just like ancient Rome did. Yeah, maybe I'm not explaining it perfectly, but it's definitely something worth checking out. Let's see, what is this? Birth process is unnatural and traumatic, harvesting your energy as soon as you come out of the womb. Tony Sayers, a wonderful healer on YouTube, brought this to my attention. The birthing process is so unnatural and traumatic. Number one, the woman is supposed to be squatting with her baby in nature, not laying down on an unnatural cushioning in an artificially lit up room. The baby who comes out in these low vibrations is immediately separated from the mother. Yeah, I mean, life here is just brutal in general. I mean, we're brought into this world bringing pain to our mother. It's, oh my gosh, it is brutal. That's why people feel like we were manifested here by a demiurge, basically. I mean, it's rough. Let's see, what is this? We have a huge amount of help here on Earth to grow spiritually. Seems as though many think that help means some Guardians of the Galaxy style scenario. This is a free will experiment. Loosh Farm, school, purgatory, all in one. We all come here with free will. We are both tortured by the archonic forces and also helped by benevolent forces. The help that is given to us will be different for each soul and where they stand. Some may find solace in religions. Many are attracted by the New Age movement. Things we may find ridiculous is nectar to another person. This is their journey. But look at all the info we also have. We have Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, shamanism, herbal medicine, homeopathy. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We have the psychoactive plant medicines. Okay, what is the point? What are you saying? I mean, I feel like the major help we have here is the help we give ourselves. Again, it's like we can't, at this point, look to any external force to really help us. It'd be nice if that were the case, but I'm just, at this point, not sure if it is. Like, even like angels that come and help us, I'm not even sure if that is benevolent. Those could, again, be archonic beings deceiving people. But what I know for sure is we have the essence of the good God where we come from inside of us. And that's something we can always tap into, our connection to that God, that source energy. So, yeah. All right. I could go all day looking at different posts on this subreddit, but I got to end it at some point. What is this? Wait. Chronos/Saturn is the most perceptible archon. We are slaves of time. It's fun. Like Saturn is the god of time. It's funny how our days are 24 hours long, like a video game setting. Everyone talks about archons so much, but it all ends up sounding like something out of Harry Potter. If there was one we can feel, it's time. Slaves to the hamster. We're slaves to the hamster wheel. The 9 to 5 vacation or leisure time is so fleeting. At the back of your head, you're always counting down. Saturn truly is one of the rulers. Yeah, time probably doesn't exist in the spirit realm. It's just something that we have to deal with here in the material. That's very novel compared to what we normally probably deal with in our normal etheric forms. Yeah, decent point. All right. I'm going to stop myself here. I could do this all day. So, yeah, thanks for listening, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.